Success stories and interviews with game changers and thought leaders who have overcome both in life and in business. Welcome to Vertical Momentum.
Hey guys, check out the new episode, the new podcast. Appreciate you guys. Just remember, if you guys want a podcast, there's no better way to do it than Anchor. Number one, it's free. Everybody loves free. Free. And then you can also record and edit your podcast right here and not have to go anywhere else. And Anchor will also distribute your podcast to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. So guys, definitely, if you're looking to podcast, use Anchor. Love you guys. James, can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. I'm on here. I apologize. I'm not sure what happened. We got kicked off or what was going on.
No biggie, brother. Welcome to Vertical Momentum, guys. My name is Richard Kaufman, also known as the Comeback Coach. And you know that every episode I have somebody that's flipping the switch, changing the game. Our friends James is doing that. But first of all, I want to thank our sponsors, Disgruntled Veterans. They have a reach of over 1.2 million veterans in the United States. Check them out, disgruntledveterans.com. They also are on every website, and they are very big, and they help a lot of veterans going through a lot of different things. So check them out, disgruntledveterans.com. Guys, this is going to be a fun episode. Like I said, we have people on here that are flipping the switch, changing the game, and thought leaders. And my new friend James is doing just that. He's done some great things in uniform, doing even better things out of uniform. So, guys, welcome our new friend, James Core. What's up, my brother?
Hey, not much, sir. How's everything rolling over there, man?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. I got up earlier than usual because I had an interview at 7 a.m. So I had to get up at like 6:30, and I'm not used to that. So I had to chug my pre-workout to make sure that I was on getting ready to roll out. So what's up with you?
Not a whole lot. Busy, man. We placed 13 dogs.
Yeah, you can't let your phone go to lock. You have to keep it open, okay? Or else it'll keep cutting us in and out.
Did you hear that, sir?
What's that? Now, yeah, you can't. You gotta let your don't let your phone go to lock, or else it'll cut us off. So now
I see that.
Yeah, but now with your accent, obviously you're not from New Jersey. So where were you born and raised?
Born and raised in Peoria, Illinois. I spent most of my life here, minus the 16 years I served.
So what kind of little boy was James?
Average. I mean, played sports, had a lot of friends. It was pretty normal, growing up.
So what kind of kid were you in high school? A lot of different sports?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was a sports guy. I loved playing sports. Really, that's all I did, to be honest with you. Did decent in school. I was a BC student, so not too horrible.
So did you get any scholarship offers for college?
No, I wasn't quite that good, I would say. No, I didn't have any scholarships or anything like that. I joined the military when I was 21. And
I love to hear everybody's recruiting story. So please tell me your recruiting story.
So the recruiting story goes like this. I didn't know, but my family was friends with a gentleman who was a recruiter. I had no idea of that. And I sat down with him for probably a good hour, one day. And we started talking about the different avenues, different career fields, that type of stuff. And I thought it was the right move. And, I wanted to serve my country anyway. So it all worked out.
Now, what branch did you serve?
United States Air Force. I was a security forces member. It's not military police, but it's the equivalent of what the Army would call military police.
So now, what was it like, coming from not such a big place to, being put with 50 to 100 guys from all over the world? What was that like?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I thought it was great. My father didn't think that I would last. He thought, or not last, but he figured I'd do my 4 years and and get out. And I ended up enjoying it so much that I stayed in. So
Now, now
kind of my story.
did you go on a couple different deployments?
Yes, sir. 4 deployments, and I spent a year in Korea.
So how many years total did you spend in?
16. Well, it would have been. It's like 15 years, 11 months, and something. So many days.
So, figuring, you've done almost 16 years, what stopped you
Mhm.
from the whole 20?
Poor knees, a bad back. I'm actually 100% disabled vet. So yeah, it was just it was mainly due to injuries.
Okay, so now, I've talked to a lot of, veterans on here. Now it's up to the hundreds because
Sure.
I 200 episodes. And a lot of guys say that, when they get out, they lose their camaraderie. They miss that a lot. Then they,
Absolutely.
I mean, we say that we're hardcore and all that, but we get so used to getting paid on the first and the 15th, getting TRICARE,
Sure.
getting SGLI and all that stuff. And then, like my friend Nick Valentine says, once you hit the street, the military doesn't give a shit about you. And
That's
so,
100% true.
so now you lose your career, you lose your friends, and you lose your mission. So, what was your transition like?
My transition was kind of the same way. I self medicated for years by using alcohol. Um, so I was more or less spiraling downhill, for you probably a good 4 or 5 years, and we finally decided, this is enough, and we need to do something else. And I wanted to do something that, like you said, would kind of bring that camaraderie back, right? And it would give me more of a sense of purpose. And I thought, what better thing to do than help veterans, right? I mean, I'm a veteran. I know how hard it was, and how hard it still is. So I thought, let's do this. I started looking for a service dog for myself, and found out that they range from anywhere from like 20 to 25 grand in the United States for a PTSD service dog. That's basically the national average. You may find them cheaper, but that is the national average. So we got into that, and we started out by, I was going to train one service dog, for me. Uh, my wife and I locked into that. Did that for probably 2 or 3 months before we started having phone calls. We started having people stop by the house asking if we were training dogs for veterans. So that's really how this whole thing with Freedom Paw started. I was looking for a dog for myself, and then we had so many calls, and it was so overwhelming with the calls and the amount of help these guys and gals need that we decided to start it out. And we got my service dog, and then we had another one. We were just going to train, like I said, one dog for one veteran and just kind of see how that goes. But due to the overwhelming response and the need, we went ahead and just started the nonprofit, and it's been amazing.
All right.
Like I said, we placed third last year.
Now, one thing I heard you say is that you and your wife. Now,
Yes, sir.
I've talked to a lot of veterans, and a lot of
Right.
time when if you're gonna, when a guy or girl are going to start either a nonprofit or a company, they never sit down and have that conversation across the kitchen table with their significant other
Sure.
before they start.
Sure.
Then
Sure.
6 months later they're $10,000 in debt, and then they have that hard conversation, and it doesn't go so well. So, can you take us
Right.
to that kitchen table and talk to us about how that came about?
Absolutely, Richard. Yeah. So pretty much what ended up happening was, as previously stated, I was kind of spiraling out of control, self medicating. And the talk wasn't even a talk for it wasn't even that I was bringing up the talk. My wife said, "You and I need to sit down tonight and talk." And we talked. And I mean, it's been 1,000 times that I said I was going to stop drinking and stop self-medicating. And she said this time, she's like, I really want to help you, but I can't keep doing this. So that pretty much snapped me back into, okay, let's do this. Let's get a dog. And let's try it. Again, I didn't know if the dog would really be the answer. I knew that pills wasn't the answer. I knew that, I mean, I've got a bag full of pills from the VA, and I knew that wasn't the answer. I knew that the dog could possibly help. And I'm so glad we did. And I'm so glad that my wife, like I said, she's a huge part of this mission, because there's so many spouses or significant others that are in the same position, that she can really speak on that and speak about how she dealt with it, how she dealt with me. I say she's a saint, because as I've told her before, I probably would have left. I probably would have been gone, had I had gone through the same stuff she did. Now she knew about PTSD. She researched a lot of things, and I'm so glad she stayed, because now we have this nonprofit, and it's amazing.
Now, I love
helping
that.
vets.
My wife is my rock. And for
Sure.
me, I know that, and if you guys don't know, that women have like a seventh sense, where if they know something is off, 99% of the time it's usually off. And I trust my wife with everything. And sometimes her senses are just like, all right, either you need to step back from this or you need to move on to that. So we complement each other, and it sounds like you and your wife also complement each other. So I think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, please talk to me about, because I know I have a lot of friends that love fishing, and I know you're a fishing guy. Tell me some of
Absolutely.
the positives, especially for people that are struggling with PTSD, TBI issues. What are some of the positives that
Sure.
fishing actually have on a person?
I think it's just being outdoors, right? It's just that sense of out in the open air, and again, it's about fishing, but sometimes it's not even about fishing. It's about just being out there in a great space to clear your head, kind of think about things. And again, this is something that I do not only, just myself, but my son's involved. My wife doesn't go every time, but I mean, she does go. She enjoys it, But it's a great place for us just to all clear our heads, really, and and it's fun, right? It's a good time.
Okay, so now. Do you know that me and you have a very a close friend in common?
I did not know that.
Yes, her name is Miss Tammy Girl Tamara.
Tammy girl. Yep.
Yes, she is one of my
Okay.
close friends, and I know she. Yep, and actually, she was the first person to ever have me on her podcast almost 2 years ago today, and I just had her on my show. Yeah. See, so how small life is, how small this world is.
It really, sure, it sure is.
So
I
now,
agree, man. Yeah. Go ahead.
tell us about, what what's the difference between a service animal, like a PTS dog, or and a pet.
Okay. So the main difference there is that the service dog or the service animal. My service dog is Zach. He goes everywhere with me. So if I'm going to the store, if I have to go to the VA, if I got to go to the hospital or anything, I mean, he's there. He's there for everything. I don't spend a day alone without him, an hour alone without him. He's there with me 20 and he's able to like mitigate those basically life daily challenges. So if I were to go to the store, right, I have a with the PTSD, I don't like people being really close to me, and he provides that spatial gap that I don't feel like somebody's trying to come up from behind me, right? and like I said, he does, he keys into me. He'll know something's going on with me before I know. So for
Now,
instance, if we're in a place where I'm really nervous, hyper vigilant, what he does is he's going to start trying to go to the door. I mean, he'll be on his leash, but he'll try to go to the door, right? And that means all that means is he's trying to get me out of that situation. He wants me to go outside, and usually that's what happens. I go outside, I take a breath, and as soon as I feel everything's fine, then we go back in. It's amazing. We have
you know,
dogs that turn on lights. We have dogs that open refrigerator doors. All of our dogs are trained to climb. They can go on stairs. They can go on.
I think your phone went to lock. No, it's
Public
okay.
access is a huge issue for us, man. So we're constantly out, taking the dogs to, say, Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot. We're going out and getting them used to other people, possibly used to other dogs. And it's really just all we're doing is trying to desensitize them, right? We want them to be just normal. And believe me, you can tell a real service dog from a dog somebody bought a service dog vest for and just put it on them. You can tell easily. For one thing, a service dog's not supposed to bark. So if the dog's barking or the dog's going around sniffing everybody, those type of traits, that's probably not a service dog, because they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to be with you. They're supposed to take care of you, and you are their main and only focus.
Now, what kind of training did you have to have before you can start training dogs?
Sure. So, a little bit about how our program works. I have a lead trainer. Her name is Annette Manji, and she's been training dogs for right at about 20 years, all different types of breeds, and she's the one who actually conducts our training. She's been doing this a long time, and like I said, she's great with people. She's an amazing person all the way around. And she's been a real delight and a real treat to have with the foundation. And again, she does all this for free. She's not. There's no pay. There's nothing like that. No one on our team gets paid. For me as the CEO, all the way down, it's 100% volunteer. All the money that gets collected, all the money that's donated, goes right back in the program. So that's also been amazing that we've been able to sustain that and keep doing it.
Now, where do you find these dogs?
So sure. So we have about 7 breeders that we call like our preferred breeders. We started out when this first started. We did a search, and we were looking for the best breeders in the United States, and we sent messages to most of them, and we probably got about 80 replies. And we ended up going down and picking the top 7 that we felt would really work well with the program we're doing. And that's how it went. And so, yeah, we have about 7 that we actually deal with. They donate the puppies. So we don't, there's no cost that we're incurring there. And really, it's the main thing we pay for is the dog food and vet bills, and then gear, our harnesses and things like that.
So now, what are the best breeds for service animals? I hate calling them animals, because it seems like it just so
right.
It seems
Sure.
like so, but what are some of the breeds that you find that are easily to train, but they're very loyal and working?
Sure. So again, we're not a breed specific foundation. The dogs that I feel do really well, the breeds, I would say lab say Labradors for sure. Followed by, and again, these are my choices. This isn't saying these are the best. I'm just saying these are what our foundation prefers to train. These are the dogs we prefer to train. So it'd be Labradors, Golden Retrievers, and probably our next one would be German Shepherds. So those would be the three primary that we trained so far. And again, that's not saying we won't train other dogs. We try to rescue 3 dogs a year from the shelter. So we have a close tie with them. They basically, if they rescue a dog that they feel would work good for the program, that's fairly calm, highly intelligent, then they give us a call, and we end up getting that dog, and we put him to work, start training him.
Now I see that, it's becoming a little bit more acceptable to have, a service dog. But when you first started
Absolutely.
out, I'm sure there's a lot of backlash. Correct?
Yes, there is. There really was. I mean, things are getting better, that's for sure. Things still aren't great. I mean, and there's a lot of this, Rich. It's not anyone's fault, right? It's just people aren't educated on it. So when they see a dog, they automatically think pet, right? And I can't tell you how many times that I've gone to a store where they say, "Sir, you're not allowed to have pets here." And I say, with all due respect, sir or ma'am, this is not a pet, right? This is a service dog. It's a working dog. And again, most people, once you explain everything, most people are really good about it, and again, it goes back to they just weren't educated on it. So as soon as you pull up the laws and you show them, they're stunned, they're in shock because they didn't know. But and that's a lot of what we do. A lot of what this is just educating people.
Now I have a friend. His name is DP, and
Okay.
he has a dog. His name is Legend, and
Awesome.
he said, his dog is with him, all the time, but there's sometimes where the dog, because there's kids in the house, where sometimes the dog just wants to be a dog sometimes. So how do they kind of live in the same kind of
Absolutely.
world,
So, and again, that you would think that'd be tough, but so what ends up happening? And again, I'm saying for our foundation, I'm not saying every service dog company is the same. Sorry, Rich, I lost you again for briefly.
It's okay.
And your question was, I'm sorry.
Sometimes, like my friend DP has a dog, name is Legend, and sometimes, because they're sitting home on the couch, and sometimes the dog just wants to be a dog. So how does a
Sure.
dog,
Yeah. So
differentiate between work and fun?
Sure. So what ends up happening for us is we train them when they have their service dog vest on, they're going to work. When they don't have the vest on, they're allowed to play and be, and just be a dog. Zach runs and plays. He has a blast outside, when he's not wearing his vest. But when he's wearing his vest, he knows exactly what's going on. He knows it's time to go to work. And it's amazing. And I'm sure your friend's dog is probably a lot like this. Zach, he gets so excited that he'll try to put his he'll try to put his vest on himself. So I'll just be holding the vest, and he'll be trying to get his head through it, so he can be in it. He wants to go to work, right? I mean that's his most pleasure. He loves going to work. So as soon as he has the vest on, he knows it's time to do it.
Okay. So I think that's amazing. So, how do people find you? How can people get a little bit more information on
Sure,
you, or how can people support your mission?
sure, absolutely. So you can go to our website, www.freedompulseservicedogs.org. you can go to that. You can also go to our Facebook page, which has also links to donate as well. Uh, we have donation cans, in the area, obviously, but and then again, anyone can call me. My personal cell phone's out on the internet. If anybody wants to call me and just talk, that's a lot of my job. Is just talking to veterans, because there's a lot of times that they don't need a dog; they just need somebody to talk to, right? And we provide that service too. And it's also become kind of a place where vets can just come and feel safe. They can come to the office, they can come to the training facility, and even if they don't need a dog, they just want to talk. They just want to be around other veterans. That's a lot of what we do too.
All right, now we're going to talk about business because this is a lot of people listen to this podcast are business people. So, what are some of the things you wish you would have known before starting your own 501(c) or business?
Yeah. Oh, there's well, I mean, things right now or things back then, I guess, were like trial by error. We didn't really know a lot about the business side of it, and trust me, we learn every day. I initially thought it would be great to have like this huge board, right? A board of all kinds of people on a board that is just amazing. And early on, I found out that it is amazing. And I mean, these people are highly intelligent, but sometimes that gets kind of, with that many people, people have different views on things. Sometimes that can get overwhelming because you have so many people trying to pull you in so many directions. The main thing is what I keep and what I tell them is we don't want to change our mission at all. This has been 100% free for our veterans, and I want to keep it like that. A lot of times money gets involved because people want to make more money and get more money. I'm more of a, as long as this works and as long as we have money to take care of our veterans, then that's really all I care about.
So what kind of job do you do on the outside?
I do not do a job on the outside. This is what I do 24 hours a day. I have very odd hours. I'll work during the day, all day. And then at night, I usually come back after my wife and kids are in bed. I got to come back down there to finish up any work that I didn't get done. So again, like really how this works is, and this is the truth, Rich, my job is fairly easy, right? All I'm doing is just steering the ship. It's all of our volunteers that are the ones that should get all the kudos, all the respect. Our puppy raisers, we have puppy raisers that come on, and they'll raise the puppy, and attend training with the puppy, once or twice a week. So that's a huge, I mean, when you look at that, we have people that are, and not all of our puppy raisers are veterans either. So we have normal civilian puppy raisers that do an amazing job. I guess my thing is, the biggest thing is that like all the praise goes to them. They do all the hard work.
Okay, so sometimes we're always giving, we're giving, and sometimes even the strongest get weak. So what do you do?
Sure.
And I'm going to ask you in a little bit. I have a feeling, but I'm not sure yet. But what do you do? Because I always tell people that you can't pour from an empty cup. So what do you do to keep your mental health healthy?
You know what happened out of all this is I found that just working with the dogs and working with veterans, I feel has really helped me out a ton. And every time I feel like my cup's not full, I'll get a call from a veteran that, I mean, really needs help, really needs a dog, and it just throws me right back in, and I'm pumped up. I'm ready to help. I'm ready to do this. Let's put a dog with this guy or gal, and get them the help they need.
Okay. Now, like I
So
said,
it's
I didn't
been
know I was going
kind
to
of,
ask.
yeah, it's kind of been, it's really been honestly very therapeutic for me as well.
Okay. So, like I said, I didn't know I was going to ask this question, but sometimes I get a feeling, and God has put people in my life recently for a reason, whatever His plan is. Talk to us about your faith.
Absolutely. So I am a Christian. I am a God-fearing man. We attend a church back here in Peoria called Northwoods Church, and it's a great family. I'm gonna be honest with you. Our family with the foundation has been amazing, but our family at church is honestly even more amazing.
Okay, so now my last two questions, like you already answered the first question, so of how we can get in touch with you.
Sure.
The last question, everybody,
Yes, sir.
is we live in such a crazy world now. Parents
Yeah.
are teaching homeschooling kids. Grandparents are homeschooling kids. Parents are working two jobs, trying to put food on the table.
Yep.
If I ask somebody to do
Absolutely.
something in the next 7 days, they're more likely not going to get to it. But if I ask them to take
Sure.
a step in the next 24 hours, they're more likely. So if you know somebody that's
Sure.
struggling with PTSD or depression, what is something they can do in the next 24 hours to start to get some help for themselves?
Call me 309-669-7917. You can call me anytime, day or night. I've answered the phone a million times at 2, 3 in the morning. If you call me and you need help, I will help you. That's 100% truth. I will do anything I can. And even if it's something that I can't help you with, I know, there's a lot of other resources out there. So even if I tell you, I want to help you, but, professionally, maybe I don't have those skills, right? I'm going to get you to the right person. So, I mean, it's important. If you call me, we're going to work through it. We're going to get it fixed.
I love that. So, guys, you heard it from my brother, James, the CEO of Freedom Paws Service Dogs. Definitely reach out to them. I'm going to be reaching out because I have PTSD, but I'm also 80% blind. So I'm definitely going to be reaching out and talking to you and stuff, getting information. And
Yes,
guys,
sir.
thank you to our sponsor, Disgruntled Veterans. Check them out. James, definitely check Disgruntled Vets out. There's a lot of guys that probably need service dogs. So definitely check him out. Well, brother, I want to thank you.
Yeah.
And since we've talked, I consider you a brother and a friend.
Absolutely.
And
brother.
Now you're a brother.
Yes, sir.
Now you're a brother in Christ. And that's the most important thing.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate you, brother. And if there's anything we can do to help support your cause, please let us know.
Will do. Thank you so much, Richard. And I want to thank all the sponsors as well. Thank you guys for having me on. Truly appreciate it.
All right, brother. This will go out probably about 2 weeks, and of course, I'll tag you on everything.
Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. And I'll be looking forward to your call.
All right, brother. God bless.
Hey, God bless you too, man. Take care.
Thank you for joining us today. Please hit subscribe and share. Please feel free to leave us a comment.